Adrien K. Wing of the Board of Editors of the American Journal of International Law. I also specialize in international human rights law, in particular, the intersection of race and gender. In this new series of short videos, we are delving into AJIL's back catalog. Each video is featuring an AJIL board member talking about an article that they've selected from the archive and bookmarked as ripe for reading or rereading. Each video takes an article from a different decade. I've been looking at the AJIL issues from the 1990s, and in this video, I'm going to talk about a piece I've bookmarked from that decade. I've chosen Feminist Approaches to International Law. It was written by Hilary Charlesworth, Christine Chinkin, and Shelley Wright. It was published in AJIL Volume 85 back in 1991. It's wonderful we're marking the 30th anniversary of this piece this year. I'm now going to quote some passages that get to the heart of the piece. Quote, "Some theorists argue that the law functions as a system of beliefs that make social, political, and economic inequalities appear natural. Feminist jurisprudence builds on certain aspects of this critical strain in legal thought. It is much more focused and concrete, however, and derives its theoretical force from immediate experience of the role of the legal system in creating and perpetuating the unequal position of women," unquote. Further, the authors note that feminist jurisprudence can involve a structural critique of the most basic foundations of international law. They continue, quote, "A feminist transformation of international law would involve more than simply refining or reforming existing law. It could lead to the creation of international regimes that focus on structural abuse and the revision of our notions of state responsibility. It could also lead to a challenge to the centrality of the state in international law and to traditional sources of international law," unquote. This article could clearly be written today. Everything in it is still very relevant, and it has not trickled over into other areas of law as much as it should have. On the other hand, we have gone beyond it in 30 years. So for instance, I write on the status of women of color, what I call global critical race feminism, and I've edited an anthology with this title. In 2015, Professor Jeremy Levitt edited a book on Black women in international law. A couple of years ago, I wrote an international law article for a feminist reader, and I discovered that women are writing on gender in many of the traditional areas of international law now, including use of force, self-determination, state sovereignty and state responsibility, and international economic and trade law, among others. This piece should be bookmarked and read or reread today, since it is the foundational article in feminism and international law. It would be wonderful if all international lawyers read it, as it is not only still relevant, but I suspect due to our specialization siloing, few non-feminists have read it. Likewise, American feminists usually don't specialize in international law, so they should read it as well to expand their horizons. We hope you've enjoyed this brief look back through the AJIL archives.